It's a privilege to introduce our next speaker. That's Steve Sanderson. He is the president and CEO of the United Way of Collier in the Keys. For those of you not from this area, Collier County and the Keys, that goes all the way to the southern part of Florida through Monroe County. Their mission is to serve this community, to make sure that people have the opportunities and the resources that they need. And Steve is truly a visionary. And this organization recognized what Mission Iconic Reefs was and what it could be for our community. So help me welcome these guys. Thank you very much. And I will give you a clue. Thank you.
Well, I want to first start by thanking you, Sarah, for that kind introduction, and thank the organizers, all of you, Scott, Tom, Kara in particular, Brooke, everybody who's put this together under some amazing conditions. You guys rock. My name's Steve Sanderson, President and CEO of United Way of Collier in the Keys. I'm privileged to have with us this wonderful team of Leah Stockton, who's the Keys area president and also the project leader for this work that we've been doing. Jessica Dockery, who's a marine scientist. The only United Way I know that has a marine scientist on its staff is ours here. And truly honored to introduce you to Hamad El Jalali, who's from the Environment Agency of Abu Dhabi. He's Assistant Scientist, Marine Habitats, who's also a sponsor, and without their great work, we wouldn't be doing the great work that we're doing. So thank you for that, Hamad. You know, the United Way of Collier in the Keys, our whole mission is about improving the financial conditions of households in Collier and Monroe. So what are you thinking? What does that have to do with the reefs, and why are we here today? Here to tell us more about that is Leah Stockton.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning. Yes, United Way of Collier in the Keys mission is financial stability. We want everyone who lives in Collier County and here in the Florida Keys to have the opportunity and resources to thrive. In our community, 46% of our students qualify for free or reduced lunch based on their family's income. Monroe County's largest municipality, Key West, ranks third in the nation for income inequality, and 37% of our households, 52% of those with children, live paycheck to paycheck. There is a price to living here in paradise. Yet 60% of our residents are dependent upon the marine resources for their livelihood. So that is why we are here today. That is why United Way is investing in this project. The future of our community and our paycheck-to-paycheck residents depend on the continued health of our marine environment. So, what are we doing? As Sarah alluded to, why in the world is United Way here? We've told you that the marine environment is important to our residents. Here's how we, as United Way of Collier in the Keys, are investing in the solution. We've embraced a multifaceted approach involving partners on a local, national, and global scale. Our work includes restoration, education, and global engagement, like all of us here today. We're going to spend the next few minutes detailing this approach in the hopes that it inspires you. We heard that Scott opened with that here today, that we can all be an inspiration to each other. We know many of you share this fundamental belief that the marine environment and humanity are intertwined and are also working on similar efforts. So we'd love to hear what you're already doing and what you learned through this conference and how you're going to apply it in your own communities. First, a little bit of background. How did we get involved? Following Hurricane Irma in 2017, the irony that we're here today during the next hurricane has not escaped those of us at United Way. Following Hurricane Irma in 2017, the United Arab Emirates made a pledge to the state of Florida for $10 million to help our state recover from the hurricane. They have a philosophy that friends help friends when they're in need. Through that generous pledge to the state of Florida, our United Way received a $3.5 million gift for this reef restoration and education to create resiliency here in our community. We're very proud to partner with the United Arab Emirates to make this work possible. While she couldn't be here with us today, I'm going to now share a video of our friend Donna Almarashi, Head of Cultural Affairs for the UAE Embassy in Washington, D.C.
Hello everyone, thank you for the kind welcome. I'm really sorry I cannot join you live at this very important and timely conference where so many impressive experts have been carefully curated to discuss environmental issues and challenges the United Arab Emirates shares and works closely with partners in the United States and around the world. Our partnership began soon after Hurricane Irma devastated communities across Florida back in 2017. Our connections through shared values of lending a helping hand was immediate. Our common interest in working together to find solutions for environmental sustainability, habitat recovery, revitalizing and rebuilding communities stronger, better equipped, and with more opportunities for people was and is in perfect sync. UAE's and my personal friendship with Steve, Leah, Sarah Fangman with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the wonderful people on each of their teams, and with the great state of Florida has only grown stronger ever since. I look forward to increasing our creative and mutually beneficial projects and partnerships all over the United States and expanding our circle of friends, like all of you here today, who are willing and are as excited as I am to work closely, share knowledge and resources, and to create a brighter future for all of us. Thank you again, and I look forward to joining you in person at the next conference, but hopefully getting the opportunity to meet as many of you as possible way before then. Have a wonderful day, and may we all continue to take care of one another. Thank you.
So you've already heard about Mission Iconic Reefs from Sarah, and now the UAE's commitment from Donna. The UAE and UWCK were excited to be the catalyst funding that kicked off this bold, ambitious plan. We've funded over $2.3 million in restoration grants to date. We're supporting two very different approaches and proud to partner with Coral Restoration Foundation and Reef Renewal USA. It was very important to our community-based approach that we support throughout the Keys, funding restoration work in the upper, middle, and lower Keys. Now we want to share with you how we are uniting stakeholders beyond restoration practitioners. All restoration funds are matched for community buy-in and leverage. For volunteerism, between our restoration grants, 3,100 volunteers will work 52,000 hours. For internships, 244 interns will assist with restoration and related efforts. UWCK is also engaging in other community opportunities like science fairs, partner organization events, volunteer events, and involvement in Iconic Reefs committees. Through this type of engagement is how we move beyond restoration itself and weave this important work into the fabric of our community. The real success of all of our work lies in the ability to pass this along to the next generation. Despite living in a community so intertwined with the ocean, because many of our students live paycheck to paycheck, they don't always have the opportunity to fully comprehend and embrace the importance of the marine environment. That's why it's so important that we build education into this initiative. We have an annual scholarship process, and we're awarding education grants to local teachers and education facilities, and we serve on the Iconic Reefs Stewardship Committee. We're so excited that we were able to bring Reef Futures opportunity to many of our local partners. So shout out to our education partners in the room here today. Through partnerships, this is how we are making this who and what we are about in the Keys. A challenge to you is to think about who else needs to be at this table in your community. Who else can help level up the restoration efforts you're already doing? Let's hear what a local student has to say about what this project means to him.
For studying mangrove biodiversity, I like the adventurous feeling, that stepping in the mud and all of that, and probably one of my favorite ones is when we took the boat out into Pelican Key. I experienced a lot of things. We saw some tree frogs, some lizards, orb weaver spiders, and a lot of other different things like starfish and more.
How cute, right? This is how this work really becomes a part of the fabric of the community. With the education and outreach components ensure sustainability. Without community buy-in, it won't go far. Nobody can say it better than a student like Nathan. More students as passionate as Nathan are what we need to create across the board in the Keys. Their future, the financial stability of the community, depends on it. We know this has broader implications than just our local community. This is why we are here today. Like you, this is why we joined Reef Futures. Part of our approach includes developing a local and Middle East global learning exchange for coral restorations practitioners to be able to learn from each other in person. This week, we will spend time with our partners developing the ideas for this innovative, collaborative approach.
Now it's your turn. Where do we go from here? How do you dig deeper? How do you dive deeper? What are some thoughts? How did we get to where we are today? And what are the community-based organizations you're partnering with? We care about the community the same way others do. We care about the reef, we care about the environment, but most importantly, we care about the people that depend on this good quality of life. That's what thinking about outside the box is, or what I like to refer to as, let's all go deeper in the box. Why can't you collaborate together? What is stopping us from doing that? Do we truly not have the same ends in mind? So let's think outside the box, let's go deep. United Way thinks about financial stability and our residents. We know that the dependence on the reef for the population, the working population in the Keys is vital. No reef, no tourism, no marine life, no fisheries, no nothing. That's important to us. So why wouldn't we want to help? Why wouldn't we want to find partners? There is no other United Way, as I mentioned earlier, with the marine scientists by design. Why not? Why aren't there other organizations doing things like this? We also have a unique partnership where we co-fund, and Megan Fraser may be in the room here, but Mission Iconic Reefs in its implementation program. Why? Because we care. That $100 million goal is not an environmental goal, it's a community goal, it's our goal, it's national goal, it's a regional goal, it's the world's goal. Let's make that happen. We also need to think about how we use our traditional line of work. United Way is typical kind of funding allocation type organization. So one of the things that we've brought to this partnership is how we think about making funding for scholarships and using some of the models that we've already done, and how we can empower the teachers and educators and those of you that are in the room in different ways, in fantastic partnerships and all of that. And then how can we not be successful without great leaders and organizations that are willing to think outside of the box with you? United Arab Emirates, for example. So with that, I just want to say, let's make the connections. Let's make sure that we have the resolution and that we build the community that we're trying to do. This work's not just United Way's work, it's our work. It's anybody's work who cares about others. And that includes all of you, all of those that are on the screen listed right here. And next, I'd like to ask Leah to come wrap it up for us. Thank you.
So again, we want to hear from you on what you're doing. We're excited to be here. I think that Steve and I probably know the least about coral restoration out of anyone in this room, so we want to hear from you. Please flag us down in the hallway, grab us between sessions. We want to hear thoughts on your work. We're learning and expanding as we go. We want to know what components of your programs have strong engagement from your local community. It's our hope that we can find inspiration from each other and that we can expand the positive connections that impact our people today and into the future. Scott already mentioned this earlier, and now you heard Sarah say that we need this big, bold action of iconic reefs. We all know restoration is vital, but we need to go beyond restoration. UWCK and the UAE know this is critical, and you likely do as well. This is the only way we will move these restoration efforts to the next level, by bringing in those from beyond this sphere. So that's our challenge to you. Go do it. Spend time these next 3 days thinking how you can take this inspiring conference back home and change lives as well as reefs. Push further. Sarah is outlining how this is an ecosystem-wide restoration effort with iconic reefs, but we believe it needs to go even further and deeper than that. When the community's future depends on this, you can't stop until you have created community-wide buy-in from those who will be most affected. Thank you.